Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to today's session. It will be on vocabulary. I think I can see that I'm audible. And today we will be, what we will be doing, if I have to show that to you, it is, understanding few roots. You people were really interested in it. I'll tell you, but beforehand, I think I gave this disclaimer earlier also that it is a long-term process to understand root and then, connect those meanings and learn it. It's a long-term process. It is good. We will see some around close to 80 words today. We'll try to see we can make them into groups or try to find the root and try to find the meaning. Please try to understand many of these words over the period of time have changed in their meaning. So it cannot be that one-to-one correspondence that if you know the root you can always find the meaning. But what we have chosen here is mostly they will fall in place with one or two exceptions. We will learn about it. So that is the agenda for today. We will learn few words. With that I will just move out of the screen. This I have already done. I don't think we need it anymore. We are already done with all these except sentence connection. I think this is totally for mains. We also plan to quickly wind down on the prelims syllabus and give you time for your own preparation, test taking, analysis, etc. So maybe next week or maximum next to next week we should complete your syllabus. Okay, so this is the first one, flu or flux, which essentially means flow, and this is the list of word which you can associate with it. So you will see all this flu here, right? Flu, 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 flu. So this word, how does that help us find the meaning? This is affluent, added to the flow. So where you are having more flow, that is the literal meaning of the word, more flow. And what does that imply? Is affluent is someone who is wealthy, that is someone having more than enough resources, that is what is wealthy. So this is flowing to, flow to, that is affluent. So where money is flowing, you can think like that. Now confluence, con is together, flu is flow, flowing together. So what happens is when the river starts, they meet at the confluence and they start flowing together. This is confluence. This point is called confluence. Okay, flowing together from there. Fluctuate also has that sense of flow, but of course wavering flow. All right. Flume is narrow river kind passing through the gorge and the valleys, or even in your water park when you go that tube through which you slide down. I think that is also called flume. That is little say small stream of water wherein you just glide through. That is flume. Flux is constant flow. Now this is an interesting word, influence. So this is how does in flow, how does it start meaning changing your habit or your behavior? How does that kind of come together? So there is old belief system wherein it was believed that there is some fluid which flows from star, and that characterizes human that has influence on human, and it shapes up our behavior, etc. So that was the ancient belief, from which inflow it meant from inflowing from stars, and which characterize human behavior. In fact, even it was believed, if you know the word common flu, which is short for influenza, that was also believed that when the bad fluids flow from star, then you have these kind of epidemics. Okay. Okay, influx is flowing in. This is flowing in great numbers. Influx of migrants into Europe. That is where you would have heard about it. Meli is honey, and flowing is flow. Flowing along with honey, which is sweet, smooth, etc. That is mellifluous. Superfluity, flowing more than necessary. Okay, so that is superfluity. Now we have almost covered what, some 8-9 word, and they were all related to flow. If you have any problem, this is how root works. So give you an idea of how do you learn it. You bring all those words together which have that root and try to see how you can relate the meaning of the word with the root. That is how it is working. Okay, next, let me just move to the next. Okay, lat from latus, which is a past participle of fere, which in Latin means to care, to carry or bear. Again, just see all those lat here, lat, 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 etc. These lats are different. I will discuss them together. This is col. This is, you know, again carrying together. Collate is carrying together. And what does that mean? You carry all the documents etc. together to verify it. That is, you collate things together, you bring them together. That is collate. All right. Also, this is again interesting. This used to be, if you go into the word origin, you will know that there were monks who used to read the manuscript. It also meant reading the manuscripts. So there were monks who were reading the manuscript, and after that they used to go for a small meal, which is what is collation. So collation, other than, you know, putting things together, also means a light meal, and that was the word origin or the history behind it. Dilate, basically you are taking it apart, so you are dilating it. Okay, I hope this is clear. Which is expand, widen. If you take into the figurative sense, if someone speaks more than necessary on a topic, he is dilating it. Okay, so that is dilate. Dilated, no, carrying it apart. Di is what? Again, dilatory again has similar meaning, but this is more delaying. You are kind of carrying it apart and you are delaying things. That is the meaning of the word. Then you have elation. Elation is, you know, carrying yourself over above yourself. So that is over joy. That is what is elation. So you are carrying yourself lat over yourself. So you are so happy that you are, you know, carrying yourself above yourself. Prelate, carrying in front of someone. So this is, you know, position of authority etc. It was given to the knights, but then as the Christianity progressed, I think prelate is again high ranking church official. Relate to, again you put 2 and 2 together, that is what you relate. It also means to empathize. You know, I can relate to what you are feeling at this moment before, you know, 10 days, 15 days before the test. So that is all the words where, you know, you had lat. Here lat does not mean the carry one, here it means hidden. Latter, this is LATER, latter, this is side. So lateral thinking is sidewise thinking, not the conventional thinking. And this is lat is, you know, wide. So if you remember your geography lessons, these were the latitudes and these were the longitudes. So latitude lete hue hote the, longitude long ones, straight. Okay. So this is the problem with root also. Not all the root, even if you get this lat and you have the feeling of carrying, that does not always happen. So that is why we told it is a long-term process. Okay. Someone is asking, how do you remember? What am I doing then? I am giving you the roots so that you can associate these words with the root, form their cluster and remember them. So you can at least try to, if you know this root now, if you see these words, you will know what it meant. Or use mnemonics if you are really clueless about it, even after going through the roots. Okay, now we come to loc, which is the, you know, verb of loqui, which means talk. This is circumlocutory. Loc, again you will see loc, obloquy, lock, again all this lock. So this is how you remember. You know, you find this root and then try to, you know, try to find its meaning. So this is talking around and around. Circumlocutory means you are not talking on the point, you are talking only around the periphery, you are not coming to the main point. That is circumlocutory. Talking more and more but not coming to the point. Okay, colloquial, it actually meant talking together. Okay, so talking, if lot of people are talking like something, that becomes colloquial. Colloquial does not mean slang. Please try to understand, colloquial does not mean slang. It means what is the convention which general people do. In your informal writing and speaking, what is used, that is colloquial. Colloquy is, again, it is talking together. Okay, when it is less serious, then I think it is colloquy. If you have more serious talk, then you can also say confabulous. So colloquy, sorry, is the more serious part, and confabulous is the less, when you just talk like that, little chit chat, etc. Grandiloquence is the grand talk, you can clearly see. So using pompous language, etc. is grandiloquence. Okay, you can also say magniloquence, you can also say pompous speech, etc. for this. Obloquy is, this is interesting, ob is, leaning against. I think the leaning part is, lost here, it's only against. So speaking against is obloquy. Okay. So vituperation, I think this was the word tested. Vituperation was tested, which also meant, talking against. Condemnation, obloquy, vituperation, they all mean the same thing. Ventriloquist, someone who speaks from his stomach. Ventr is stomach. So someone who speaks from stomach is ventriloquist. You will see the puppet show, etc., wherein without moving his mouth, they will be taking out the voice of the puppet. So that is ventriloquist. Interlocutor, someone who speaks in between. So suppose you need a mediator between the two parties. If there are two parties, having dispute, then you will have a interlocutor who will go and speak to both of them, speaking in between. That is interlocutor. Loquacious means nothing but talk, talk, talk. Okay, that is loquacious. Obloquy is not thinking, again, it means condemning. You are, against someone, you are talking against, you are abusing someone, you are, that's vituperation basically. Okay, can we just move ahead to the next set of roots? I hope this is clear. The word that you needed to know was loq, which is talk, and then you could know circumlocutory, colloquial, colloquy, grandiloquence, obloquy, ventriloquist, interlocutor, and loquacious. This is how root works. Okay. Now let's move to the next set of word, which is rogare, which means to ask. Okay. So rogare was the general, I think it is a Latin word, wherein people, before a law was formed, you took the opinion of the people. You asked people whether this law should be implemented or not. Ab is to remove. So abrogate came to mean rescind, to remove that law. No more asking anyone, or whatever the law was passed by asking, now it is removed. That is to mean rescind, to take away. That is abrogate. Okay. Arrogance, again here, I told you at the starting that not all words will actually translate to. This is asking, rogare again, but air here or add is to ask, and to ask here means to ask yourself. It's so much hubris and pride that you are happy talking to yourself, asking yourself. That is arrogance. Arrogate, very similar, but here you give yourself that authority to take action also. You are, you have given yourself that power. So all those moral policing, etc., wherein they go and beat couple celebrating their Valentine Day together, these guys are arrogating themselves the power to behave like your parents. Derogatory, not asking or asking below. You are reducing the asking. That is what it means. Derogatory, any derogatory remark is belittling you. I hope this is clear. Asking for less, belittling. Okay. Prerogative, again asking pre. So this is giving you the rights to ask for before, that is prerogative. So this is special right. So it is my prerogative which routes I will take today. Okay. Okay. Next, eroge again, but here we have the word prorogue, which is again asking beforehand. Please note this word again has a special meaning, wherein for all the law making body etc. when they take leave, they say the parliament currently is in prorogue. So they take leave, they delay things, they postpone. That is the meaning. So parliament is postponed for now. The working in the parliament is prorogue. Now, supererogatory. This is asking for more than necessary. So the word supererogatory in itself is supererogatory, because a simpler word superfluous will also mean the same thing, right? So supererogatory, asking for more than necessary. Okay. Now here comes the final word. Sir, actually sub, which means under. Ask under should be its literal translation, but here sub means instead of. So if you are asking instead of someone, so surrogate is someone who is representing someone else. So surrogate mother, surrogacy law, etc. you would have already learnt about. I hope this is clear. Okay. So I hope you are learning how do you go about the roots. Now let us move to the word cluster. Again, I have given you the hint of how do we go about the words. Here we will take the cluster of words and try to find out what that root is, and try to find the meaning of the word. Here umber. Umber is the shadow. Okay. Adumbrate is adding shadow, add shadow. So adumbrate ultimately translates to mean adding shadow or casting shadow. So it means two things, either giving you sketchy detail, some brief outline, or it also means to predict. So I adumbrated the possible results, or I also adumbrate a plan. I give you the sketch of the plan. So that is the meaning of adumbrate. I hope this is clear. We will at last maybe will repeat all the words together itself. Okay, so umber, there is nothing to repeat here actually. If you will see, there is one root. We have to see how that word or root is related to the other word. Now this is penumbra. Pen basically comes to mean almost, almost. So penultimate you would have or peninsula. So peninsula is almost a insulated thing, which is almost a island, which is three sides is covered by water, then it is peninsula. So almost insulated, that is peninsula. Penultimate, almost the end, one before the end. So here also penumbra, so it is not completely in shadow, almost in shadow, the slight shadow. When you have solar eclipse, the part having partial eclipse are called the region of penumbra. Okay, so umber we know shadow, penumbra we know. Now from pen we made two other word. Pen is almost there, peninsula almost insulated, penultimate almost the last, one before the last is what penultimate means. Then you have somber, which means again this must be European context I believe, or where you have less sunshine, because they feel shadow to be bad. If it was Indian context, we love shadow, right? We are tired of lot of sunshine, but in European country these people have hardly have any sunshine. So somber, which again has that umber, which is shadow, which means gloomy. Umbrage, again this is extending. If it was in Indian context, it was to give shadow. In our context it would have been a good word, but here it is adding insult. If you give umbrage to someone, they feel insulted. Okay, or they take umbrage, or give umbrage is taking insult or giving insult. Yes, anything dark, gloomy, sad, etc. will all fit the bill here. Okay, I just explained you why umbrage would have meant to take insult or give insult. Yes, 19th over is the penultimate over in the T20th game. Very good. Okay, now let's move to the next word cluster, which is bell. Bell here is, belly is the war, aggression. So that is the bellicose, belligerent, rebellious, rebel. Antebellum, postbellum. Ante is pre-war, post is post. So pre and post war, bellum is war. Okay, bellicose is someone who is very aggressive, ready to fight. Again, belligerent also means the same thing. So that bell, whenever you see this word bell, you will know it will have some connotation of fight, aggressiveness, etc. Yes, umbrella I think also has come from umbra. I think whoever has, Shivkant Tiwari has written that. Very good. It gives you shade. Umbrella gives you umbrage, or not the umbrage, sorry. It gives you umbra, and which brings you in shade, and therefore umbrella. Bellicose, I told you, warlike, aggressiveness, etc. Same. All these words have the same meaning. Combative, pugnacious, all those words will be, form from this. Ladaku, yes. Okay, let us, I hope this is clear. The bell word you will not forget now. Okay. Even in the bell, I think the contravene is now, con is together, and here veen, the interesting word here is veen. Veen, you will see. This is coming. I think you must be remembering this. Vini, Vidi, Visi, I think. I came, I saw, I conquered. So I think this is the win which is, coming from here. So here it is coming. So contravene, you are not coming together. Basically, convene is coming together, and contravene is you are coming against. Come against, act in contrary way. Break or disregard a law, etc. They will all mean to think. The veen here means coming. Coming together will mean convene. Okay. Now, the convention also, can mean both. Coming together for an idea, etc. can also mean the same thing. Yes, coming together, that is meet formally, come together. Okay. Now this is circumvent. This is, you try to move to this, the periphery, which is the this is your circumference. You are going to the circle. You are trying to escape something. That is circumvent. Supervene, you try to you try to enforce what you want to come over it. That is supervene. So if there is some law already, you supervene that law and you pass your own law, or you pass your own judgment, etc. Okay. I hope this is clear. Okay, contravene is to act in, contrary way, break law, disregard a law, etc. So I hope this is clear. We'll go to the next set of word here. Fid. This is again a important word which means faith. So if you look at old words, right, feed or fid, again what does fid means? It is faith. So diff, without faith, and diffident is someone who is having no faith in himself, and hence he is shy. So this is the extended meaning, diffident. Confident is with faith. So therefore someone who is with faith, he is confident, as in today's parlance we say if he is confident, he shows those qualities of being, he is able to carry himself well. That is confident. So if you look at the past, you will see this, the faith was in, always there in these words. So faith and belief, were, very important things which were there in previous or say at the ancient time. Therefore you will see a lot of these words coming from there. Infidel, someone who does not believe in faith. So someone anyone who said that he does not believe in God, etc., were branded infidel. Okay. And what is perfidy? Is deceitful, or deceitful is, I think, is the correct pronunciation. This, I think I left a T, deceitful. Okay, is it clear? So fid means faith. So someone not having enough faith in himself, diffident, shy, confident with faith. He was confident. Infidel, does not believe in faith. So someone does not believe in any religion, etc. They were at that time generally people with no moral values. Perfidy is deceitful. Okay. Let's move to the next one. To make something more worse or bitter. Okay. Acer and Asper. Sorry. Just look at these words. So this is Acer and Asper is what these words are. Okay. We'll have, so Acer is again acrid, which is sharp, whereas your Asper is, not smooth. Asper is rough and bitter, and Acer is sharp. So exacerbate generally means to make things more worse. Exasperate is, again, you infuriate someone. You try to, constantly, get onto his nerve. That is exasperating. Okay, irritate someone. Asperity, again, it is, Asper will be rough and bitter. This is about your tone. If you do not have a good tone, you are likely to cause asperate. Because of your asper tone, you are likely to exasperate someone. Okay. Yes, asperity is mostly talked about in terms of tone. If you have asperity, will be the way you talk is asper. Your asperity in your voice is really not recommended. Again, acrid, acrimonious, again bitterness is what will be the word here. Acerbity again is the same say group of word, which means having say sharp or rough or bitter tone, etc. Yes, India-Pak relation is exacerbating day by day. Good. Okay, let's move to the next set of word, which is impugn. It is to fight. This is not impugn, this is impugn. G is silent and it sounds impugn. But here in expungible, it is sounding, as Pung. Pugnacious and repugnant. I think these are the four words where you have Pugn, which means to fight against. Okay, it means to attack someone with, it also extended meaning. Now in the ancient time, it would have started with the sword, etc. But now even with your words, etc., you can impugn. How to clear English cutoff if I don't know any of these difficult words? You don't know what you may be asked. It is better to build your vocabulary. I think we started with Norman Lewis. We expect that by today you would have already revised and you are knowing all the words in Norman Lewis. We are almost touching 2 months now, right? On 14th of April, we would have been together for almost 60 days, right? So please work on your vocabulary. It will be very difficult otherwise to clear your cutoff. If you are really not good in English, you do not know the usage, and also you do not have good vocabulary, it will be difficult. So please start working on it right now. Repugnant, again, this is all fighting against, literally or with word. Repugnant is extremely distasteful is what, extremely distasteful, I said. Pugnacious, again, all these have that feeling of irritating and they are harsh. Pugnacious is something you will not like to meet pugnacious people, right? Repugnant are yes, repugnant, unacceptable. Okay, something, if you make unnecessary comments, it can be repugnant to few people. If you abuse someone, that can be extremely distasteful. That is repugnant. Pugnacious again is someone who is ready to take up that fight. That pugn is coming from there. Okay. I think I pronounce repugnant as repugnant because impugn is what it is, but it is repugnant. Okay, so let's move to the yes. Pugnacious, pungent smell, yes. Please note, all these root will not work everywhere. That is the drawback of root, because a lot of words have changed over time. Not all root come from the same language. You might have French root also sounding like a Latin root. For that matter, a Germanic root sounding like a Latin root. So they may have different meanings. So please be careful. They are not sure shot formula. Please try to understand. It is just one of the way to collect words together and learn them together. Yes, unfortunately, pugs are very decent, but pugnacious is not. Okay, next word cluster is sentient or scent. This is again, scent, sentient. So, what is presentient? Scent is that knowledge. Presentient is again, if you have knowledge of something before, pre-knowledge. Okay, you do not, dissent is you are not agreeing with that knowledge. So that is that is which is felt. So if you dissent with something, you do not agree with that feeling. Okay, resentment again you have for those feeling, you do not agree with those feelings. That is presentient, dissent, resentment, and then your sentient. Sentient is again able to express. So this is all about your feeling and expression. So if what you feel before, something like premonition, etc., is presentient. Dissent, you are not agreeing to what is the to the feelings. This is dissent. Resentment, again you do not agree to that sentiment of someone. Sentient is the ability to express. Okay guys, now let us move to the next set of word, which is propensity, appendage, appendage, etc. Now, can you tell me what is the root? Now you tell me what is the root. This is the pen, right? Append, pen, 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 pen. So this is an interesting word. Propensity is the inclination to bend towards something, right? So this pen has, all these words will have that feeling of bending towards, or either hanging from somewhere or bending towards. That feeling will come from all these words. So propensity is your inclination to bend towards an idea or person. So your propensity to work hard, that is quality of leaning forward, etc. Okay. Now again, append is you add something to say. Author will append something to his last whatever say the edition of the book. He has appended something, that is hanged something to it, added something to it. Appendage again is the for the main document you will have an appendage, which is something hanging with the, again that feeling of something less important hanging with this main document. Impending, again this always has that negative connotation of something hanging, something bad hanging or looming over, all of us. Impending disaster, impending say flood after heavy rainfall, impending flood, etc. Again, pendant is the same pendant which generally women wear around their neck. Again, you have that feeling of hanging, etc. Then you have pendulum again, that also has this feeling of hanging. So this is pen. So pen basically hanging, propensity, your inclination towards something. Append, again left hanging, or added something hanging. Appendage, something which comes hanging with the main document. Impending, something which is hanging, generally bad. Pendant, we all know. Pendulum is again something which hangs. Okay, so let's move to the next set of words. Okay, here this recreant, please do not get confused. Again, there is another root which means recreation, which is more entertainment. This is not that recreation. This is kriya, CREA, which is again to do with your faith, etc. Okay, so someone who goes back on one belief, faith, or I should say belief. So if you go back, recreate, you are going back on your belief is recreant. Again, this is craven, means again the same thing, someone who is coward. You cannot stand for yourself, that is craven. And recreant also means the same thing. So when it would have originated, the word would have meant to go back on your belief, to go back on your religion, etc. But in today's context, it means a coward. Same with craven. Credible, again something which can be believed, so that is credible. Credulous is again, now it over the time, I am quite sure it would have started with positive connotation of something which has that quality of believing, but now credulous is generally used for people who will believe without enough proofs. Even that quality is called credulity. So if someone is credulous, you can easily fool them. Okay, again that miscreant, it started again with someone who did not have that belief or who did not believe in the faith, etc. Therefore, he was treated as villain in society. Now, miscreant today also has that connotation, but again, anyone who can cause nuisance, etc., can be called miscreant. Okay. Credible is something you can trust. Credulous does not have positive connotation now. Someone who can be easily fooled is how it is used now. All the root words here were cred. Please try to understand. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, let's move to the final. I think these two words we have already learned, which is venal and vinyl. Venal means this comes from vendor. Vendor is to sell, your local vendor, etc. If you remember, these are the vendor who sell you goods, right? And venia is basically a very, venial generally means a slight sin, just like peccadillo, for which you can be easily pardoned. So this comes from venia and this comes from vendor. One is to meaning sell, which means that venal person are easily sellable, they are corruptible. Okay, whereas venia is meaning, venial will mean pardon, which can be easily excused. I hope this is clear. Okay, this is how we use root words. So I have just given you all those, the root, I have given you the cluster word, etc. Let me just show you now other way of, doing it. Then you have Greek and Latin counterparts. So most of our English words are derived from Latin and then followed by Greek. So if you can know their roots, which is fer and for, they are generally very, close together. So circumferential and peripheral, they will generally mean, same thing. Okay, I think this is clear. Circumferential, again, circumferential will mean something which is bordering around, not coming to the, the main topic. Peripheral, again, marginal, etc. will also form with the same words. Okay. I think bear and carry, I think I have just, this is going around. Right, fair for. Script and graph is right. So superscription, something written above. Epigraph, generally what is, the heading of your chapter, etc. is called the epigraph, something written on top, that is the epigraph, and then you have the text, right? So this is script, which is for your Greek counterpart, you will have graph, which means write. Credulity is the same thing. Credulous people have that quality of being, their credulity can be associated with them. Okay, again, same thing, who can be easily fooled, or people who accept truth without verifying, etc. Okay. Okay, this is a bit difficult. Again, sacerdotal or hieratic. Again, this means this is position wherein, in church, etc. The high priests, etc. they will be sacerdotal or hieratic. Okay, more from hierarchy. Holy, also they are holy, they are unquestionable, etc. Spect and scope. Again, it means to look. Conspectus and scope. Scope generally is the range, conspectus is to overview, etc. Both will have that, meaning of scope, the range of your look, the scope of the project, till where you can look, till what this project can look. That is the inherent meaning, and that is how the word meaning generally gets extended. Okay, you can take the screenshot. We have never stopped you from taking the screenshot for our lectures, and you can form whatever you want, the PDF, etc. Okay, finally you have Latin and Greek counterpart, which is temper, and chron, which is contemporary and synchronous. So temper again means has to do with time. Again, chron again has to do with time. Contemporary, happening at the same time. Synchronous basically is happening at the same time. Contemporary, again existing in the same period. So two authors were contemporary. Satellites are synchronous. Okay, so I think I just showed you all these words. Let me just kind of do a quick revision for all these words. So you see, with root it becomes easy to cluster word, and that is the benefit of the root word. But the sad part is you will not have the root meaning the same thing. The same roots which you think will fall into one category can have different meaning, because they might have come from different origin. Okay, that is the only problem. We'll just look at all the words, and we'll just close for today. So this was to give you some quick dose of some 80 words. So affluent, we said it was flowing to, which meant wealthy. Confluence, it was flowing together. We are just revising quickly. Fluctuate, again it had the meaning of flow, but with up and down. Flume, I told you that narrow stretch, the either it could be in the valley, etc., or even in your water park. Flux is the constant flow. Influence, I told you about the story of star, wherein it was believed that some fluid comes from there, and it affects our behavior, etc. Influx is flowing together, lot of influx of migrant, lot of them arriving at the same time. Mellifluous, mel was the honey, so flowing like honey, or flowing with honey, which was sweet and smooth. Superfluity was flowing over and excess of what it was needed. Okay, I hope you will remember these words. Lat, again it was to carry. Collate was to carry it together. I told you about the collation, wherein the priest used to have that reading of the text, and then they used to have a light meal, from which collation is there, other than their meaning of bringing things together. Dilate was to take it apart. Dilatory also had the same meaning, but it is used in context of delaying things. Elation, you carry yourself over yourself, so you are very happy. Prelate, again carry yourself before someone. This is again someone who is high ranking official, etc., in the church. Relate, you are putting two and two together, also empathizing with someone. Latent, lateral, and latitude, I gave you 3 examples where lat were there, but they had different contexts. Lat means hidden. Lateral means the latter was the side, lateral thinking, the sideways thinking, not the conventional thinking. Latitude was the wide. I showed you the globe, wherein the latitude and longitude were there. Then we learnt about loqui, which was circumlocutory, which is talking around and around, not talking about on the main point. Colloquial was, talking together. Generally in our current usage, it's more informal usage of the word, what people generally talk, that's colloquial. Colloquy is again, people talking. I told you about the informal is the confabulous is the word for that. Grandiloquence, when you talk in pompous language. Grandiloquence, the speech with a lot of high flying words, etc. That's grandiloquent speech. Obloquy is, I told you, is speaking against. Vituperation, I gave you the example of condemnation, all forms the word for obloquy. Ventriloquist, someone who talks from vent, which is his stomach. Interlocutor, I told you, someone who talks in between. If there is fight between the two parties, the interlocutor goes and tries to solve it. Loquacious means nothing but talk. Someone who is loquacious, he talks and talks and talks. Okay. Okay. So let's move to the next set of word, which is rogere, which is ask. Abrogate is, rogere, I told you, in the ancient say Latin or Greek society, they must have that before they passed law, they rogere, they asked people whether that law should be passed. Abrogare means to take away that law. Abrogate therefore means to rescind a law, to take away. Arrogance is again, add ask to yourself. You are so much in your hubris and pride that you feel asking yourself is sufficient. Arrogate again has that same connotation, but these people think they have the authority to go around and do things. I talked about the moral policing. Derogatory is someone who is talking lesser, talk little about someone. So belittling someone is derogatory. Prerogative, special right, asking for pre-ask. So I am asking for something special. So prerogative, some special powers that you have yours by the position or by your authority, the special authority that you have, that's your prerogative. Prorogue is delaying. I told you about the generally used with the assembly, etc., where the law making body, etc., are prorogue. Supererogatory, word itself is supererogatory. Super ask, this is asking for more, wherein just a small word like superfluous also means the same thing. Surrogate, I told you about. Sir here means sub, which is under, but here it stands for instead of. So asking instead of someone. Surrogate, surrogacy law, surrogate mothers, etc., who stand in for other. Okay. Let's move word cluster. We moved adumbrate. I told you umber is shadow. Everything related to it became something to do with shadow. Adumbrate was casting your shadow before you come. So it could mean two things. When I am showing you my plan, I am only showing you the sketch and not giving the entire detail. Whereas in the sense of predict, adumbrate also came to mean that you are thinking that something like this will happen basis what has happened. So if it starts to rain, you predict, you adumbrate that this kind of continuous rainfall will end up causing flood. So in both the sense, either to give you the outer sketch of something or to predict, both you use adumbrate. Penumbra, pen was almost there. Penumbra, I told you, when you have eclipse, generally you have two kind of there are many, but one is the full eclipse wherein sun will be totally eclipsed, whereas there are other regions where there will be partial eclipse. You will be able to see sun partially. From there, penumbra, which is almost in the shade but not fully. Peninsula, we again revived from here. Insula was almost insulated. Almost insulated means it was almost an island, but it is not. It is three side covering water. Penultimate, almost the last but one, that is the penultimate. Sober is again something to do with shadow, etc. I told you the European context where they like sunshine and not the shade, therefore it represents gloomy, etc. And if you are passing on shade to someone, of course he will take insult. That is how we learned this set of words. Okay. So let me just move to the next cluster of the word, which means bell, which had bell, which means warlike and aggressiveness, etc. Bellicose is someone who is ready to fight. Belligerent means the same. Someone who does not listen to people, he is always eager to fight. Rebellious or rebel, again they mean the same thing. Bellum is war. So before war is antebellum and post war is after the war. So bellicose, belligerent, rebellious, etc. all have that connotation of being say aggressive. Okay. So let me just move forward to the veen. Veen, I told you about the vini vidi vici. I think this is veen, not exact, I think vini, but veen is again here to come. So contravene is to not coming together. Contra coming, this is contravene, you break a law, you contravene, etc. You are not coming together. Convene, you come together. You know, you convene. Convention also means generally the same thing, wherein you agree to some of the convention, which is the how people behave. There is a convention in the society that you agree to, you walk together, you come together to the accepted rules, etc. Circumvent, you try to move towards the circumference, you try to outdo a law, or you try to move away from the existing law or the society, the set rules in the society. Supervene, you try to put your own authority over whatever is existing. You come over, that is supervene. Okay, next set of cluster was fid. Fid means faith. Diffident, someone who did not have faith, was shy. Who was with confid, was confident. Infidel, he did not believe in faith. These were the guys who were not treated even today it means someone who leaves his faith and belief, etc. Perfidy was deceitful. So fid was the the word which we were looking for. Next, Acer and Asper. Acer is sharp, Acer is sharp, whereas Asper means rough and bitter. So asperity was generally in tone, this was asper. Roughness in your tone was the asperity. Acerbity is the sharpness. Acridness, acrimonious, all these terms meant your voice, your tone, something which people will not like. Exacerbate was again irritating someone and making him angry. Impugn is how it was pronounced. It was to fight against. Generally, it would have started with sword, but then it came to be with the words also. Repugnant, I have already talked about, which is extremely distasteful. Pugnacious, again, who is ready to take up war, etc. Okay, so these words we have already discussed. Now let us quickly move to the sentient. Sentient, sent was the feeling, sent was the feeling. So presentient, your feeling which comes before premonition, etc. Dissent, you do not agree with the feeling. Resentment, you do not like with that feeling. Sentient is again you are able to express those feelings. Okay, so this was the sent cluster of the words. Let us move to the pen. Pen had that pen had that connotation of hanging. So propensity, my hanging towards or my leaning towards some view. Append was something which is added to a book. Suppose the author adds append something to his last edition. Appendage was something which came with your with your main document. It comes hanging, again it has that sense of hanging with the main document. Impending disaster or something which is hanging, something bad is going to happen, that is the sense. Pendant, we all know, is something hanging in the neck. Pendulum, again that sense of hanging. So pend was the word there. Recreant, craven, cred. So again I told you here it meant the faith or the belief of the people. So recreant, you are going back on your belief, which was the recreant, that means you did not stand up and hence you were coward. Craven and coward are both the meanings of recreant. Credible, something which can be believed, so that is credulous. Credulous, I think that is how it should have started, but now what it means is someone who accepts something without your enough proof, etc. is someone who is credulous. Okay, credulity can be assigned this behavior, or this adjective can be applied to the credulous people. Miscreant is someone who is villain, who is not worth, or who is not having belief, so he is the miscreant. Okay, venal and venial, I told you about. Vendor, that is from where this word has come to mean sell. So someone who is venal, he is sellable, he is corruptible. Okay. he is corruptible. Venial, whereas it means venia, which means pardon, this is slight sin. Okay, this I think we had discussed earlier also, venal and venial. Okay, now we learnt also one more method of having the Greek and their Latin and Greek counterpart. Fer and for, circumferential and peripheral, both means going around. Script and graph, superscription, epigraph, etc. Then you had Thacer or Hiero, which means holy, someone who cannot be questioned, high ranking official in the church, etc. Skept, scope, again to look, overview, conspectus and the scope of the project, etc. had that feeling of look. Finally, temper and chron, which gave you the meaning of time, etc. Okay, I hope these words you will find useful. Okay, I am just going through your comments. Okay, learning through mnemonics is a good idea. However you feel, whatever works good for you is a good idea. I have just shown you, I think, because a lot of students wanted to know how this works. Just come back on screen. So I think this was a short class, 1 hour class, wherein we have covered almost 80 words, which I think is a good speed. If we can learn 80 words in an hour, it is good. Please go through them once and twice. You will understand how we work with the roots. That was the idea to introduce. It's always a long-term solution. That is what I wanted to say. It's always mnemonic is something which I will prefer if I have only 15-20 days left. But still 80 words in an hour is not a bad go. These were the dependable roots. Not all roots are so dependable that you can trust them, and you can always find out their meaning. So that was just a short class today. Have a just go through them and come prepared for tomorrow's class, which will be on time, speed, distance, taken by Abhishek sir. Please go through all the 3 lessons before you come back. Okay, so with that I will just call it a day, and let's meet on you will meet Abhishek sir on Monday, and then I will meet you on Tuesday. Okay.